Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Horror Peaches. I'm actually super excited because my adapter came in and so I'm able to use my really good webcam and my new microphone, so I'm super excited for that. This video we're going to be going over my Saw X review and we're also going to be grading the traps on a 1 to 10 scale, so I'm super excited for that. And we're also, when we're doing the trap grading, we're gonna see if I could survive them, or if I think I could survive them. So it's gonna be super interesting. Grab a drink. I've got mine. Some green tea. Sorry that that did not focus. I'm still kind of learning the gists of all this. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I'm going to do a little disclaimer, a little warning here. If you have not seen it, the things that I will be talking about in this movie, it's going to be spoilers. So if you have not seen it, you should definitely go see it, but definitely click away if you don't want to be spoiled. If you do want to be spoiled or you have seen it, you're in the right place. So yeah, I'm going to say overall for Saw X, definitely my top 5. I'm gonna rate it from 1 to 10 on a 1 to 10 scale, and I'm gonna give it a 9. It was great, the story was great. I feel like this was filmed like an actual theatrical, dramatic movie, with the gore factor, so it's really good. And I liked it. I don't know, I might be biased because I'm an old school Saw fan. I like the older movies, I like the new movies. Now, that being said, I am partial to the older movies. I do enjoy the older movies. And I feel like this movie in particular kind of gave us that old Saw movie feel. Like it was really good. I enjoyed it. But yeah, so what we're going to be going over is it's going to have spoilers, especially the traps. I'm going to go over them, like the mechanism, the story, all of that stuff. But yeah, I'm super excited. So let's go over the story a little bit. In the beginning, John is talking to, I guess, like his doctor or his insurance, something like that, and they're going over ways that could possibly help, like his brain cancer. And they find the Peterson Project. And so the Peterson Project is basically one main doctor and like her staff or whatever, and she reaches out to John. I'm just gonna do like a short story or long story short kind of thing. She reaches out to John and she's like, hey, we can fix your brain. You know what I'm saying? And so he gets interested in that and they figure it out. You know, he pays for it and stuff. He goes to visit them in Mexico, I think it was. And he meets the staff. He meets Gabriella, who apparently is like another survivor or something, cancer survivor, and he meets basically all of these people. And then he gets the surgery done. And plot twist, they didn't fix anything. They didn't fix his freaking brain or anything like that. So he basically hunts them down, finds them like one by one, puts them all in the same room, and they all each have their individual traps. And the way that it's like the storyline progresses is you get to see the relationship between John and Amanda, and you get to see like how Amanda captures these people and feels for these people. Like, I thought it was pretty interesting, the relationship between Gabriella and Amanda. I really liked that. I really liked that Amanda was kind of partial to liking Gabriella, because Amanda is also an addict, you know, and she was also in a trap and stuff, and dude, oh my god. So I won't talk about Gabriella's trap yet because I want to go through them all in order and then grade them and say who survived, who doesn't, all that stuff. So yeah, let's get right into that. So the first trap that we're going to be going over is the vacuum eye trap, and basically y'all have probably seen it already. It's on the poster. I think that was like the first sneak peek of a trap that we got when they first started dropping us like trailers and little sneak peeks of the Saw X movie. But basically this trap is this guy is strapped to a chair. and he has a dial, and there's 5 numbers on the dial, and he has to like go from 1 to 5 and break all of his fingers. And if he doesn't, the vacuums that's connected to his eyes will suck out his eyeballs, and he only has, I think, 60 seconds to do this. And John made this trap, or thought of this trap, it was in his mind, because he saw like a custodian, I think it was, like looking through a patient's belongings and stuff, almost like he was gonna steal them. And then when the custodian like notices John, he closes the drawer or whatever, and John's like, smart choice. But anyways, so this trap, I feel like, since it's not a real trap, it has to be graded lower than like a real trap. And yes, it was awesome to see how like John's mind works regarding this trap and regarding like the person that was in the trap and stuff. But yeah, I would probably say from 1 to 10 for me personally when it comes to this trap. I'd say a 5. I don't want to rate it too high because then again, like, I mean, it's not real. Like, it's not like this person's actually going through this. It's just in John's mind. So, like, in reality, the trap might not even work like that. But yeah, I would definitely give it a 5. I think it was semi-creative, but it was very, like, lacking. I don't know. It was lacking something for me. Maybe it wasn't as gory as I wanted it to be. But I feel like it would just be easy. Like, even if I was in the trap, I feel like I would survive this trap because, like, I would just do the dial real quick and break all 5 of my fingers at once. But, like, then again, if I wasn't able to do that, I would still just break all of my fingers. So, I mean, like, break your fingers or get your eyes suctioned out of your head, you know? I mean, there's not really... So, but I thought it was pretty cool that they showed us, like, what happens if you don't win this trap, and showed us, like, the eyes getting sucked out, and it was pretty cool, because the eyes didn't get sucked out, like, both at the same time. I feel like there was, like, kind of a delay with, one or the other, but yeah, definitely a 5 out of 10 for me. I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of this trap, definitely not one of my favorite traps, especially in this movie, and there's a lot of good traps in this movie, so... Now that that's out of the way, we're gonna start getting into the more fun traps. I'm so excited. So this next trap is the pipe bomb trap, and basically this guy who was like the fake brain surgeon slash doctor slash taxi driver guy, he's put into this trap. And he has pipe bombs, like, attached to his arms, and scalpels duct taped to his hands. And the way to get out of this trap is he basically has to cut himself free from the pipe bombs. On a 1 to 10 scale for this one, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. I did like the trap. I feel like there's still really good traps in this movie though, so I don't want to rate it too high, but I would definitely give it a 7.5 because it's gruesome, it's gory, it's executed well. So basically he has 3 minutes to do this trap, you know, to cut the bombs off and kick them away, whatever. For me, would I survive this trap? Probably not. Honestly, I feel like I would probably pass out from blood loss, unless I have, like, that adrenaline just pumping through me. But yeah, I feel like it's like 50-50, because, like, if I have that adrenaline going and I'm set and I'm already digging right after that, like, the tape ends, I might survive. I feel like the worst part about this trap and some of the other traps is the panic in the first minute. You can use that first minute to your advantage and not panic and just get straight to it. But yeah, I don't know. I would still say 50-50. I don't know if I would survive it. I would like to think that I would be able to survive it, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would bleed out before I even get to the second bomb. Like, I feel like I would be, like, the idiot to slice something. Like, you're not supposed to slice while trying to get the bombs off. But I do have to say, shout out to Horror Sauce, because I watched their video on it, and they said, they thought it was cool that the guy, like, put the bomb in his mouth and ripped the rest off and then, like, threw it. I feel like that's a good point. just rip them off. Rip them off instead of like digging in there. Or, maybe dig a little bit, loosen it up, and then chew it off, and then, throw it. But I don't know. I feel like it would be 50-50 for me, because, like, or I would pass out from just seeing the blood, knowing that I'm bleeding, the pain, all of it, like. But if I get that adrenaline boost, maybe I would survive this trap. But yeah, definitely a 7.5 for me. I liked it. Could it have been better? Maybe. He does survive at the end of this trap though, so I do feel like you could survive this trap. I just don't know if I would survive it. But it's weird because I feel like I would survive some of the other traps, like the harder traps, but we'll get into that. So yeah, 7.5 for the pipe bomb trap. For this next trap, we're going to be going over the razor wire trap, the ghillie saw trap. I forget the girl's name that was in this trap. I can't. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but anyways, whatever. Let's get into the trap. So basically, this girl is like, she's sitting down and she has a razor wire kind of thing in front of her, like right where her neck is, and she's like tied by her neck to this like rod sort of thing, and she has 3 minutes to do this trap, and she's giving a tourniquet, which is like a belt, and a ghillie saw. And so what she has to do is she has to use the tourniquet and make a tourniquet around her leg, and then use the ghillie saw to like hack her leg off, and then she has to get like a tube to put into like the femur bone or some kind of bone to suction bone marrow out and fill this beaker a certain amount, and then like she'll be released. This strap, I don't even know, like, you would have to be a strong, super brave soul to survive this trap. I would give it, just on aesthetics alone, like a 9 out of 10. I really liked watching this trap. Now, I do want to say that I'm not a huge fan of like traps that have more than like 2 steps, because that's a lot. Like, considering the pipe bomb, like if you put the pipe bomb trap and this trap next to each other, there's a big weighted difference. Like, yeah, they get the same amount of time, but Home Dude is like not chopping off a limb. Like, I mean, yeah, he's slicing his arm and stuff, but he doesn't have to lop off his whole freaking leg in 3 minutes and then put a tube in there and suction stuff out and stuff. But like, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Would I survive this trap? Probably not. I'm gonna say I would probably not survive this one. Now, that being said though, the chick in this trap wasted like a whole minute just panicking, like, and she was so close at the end to getting out of this trap. Like, if she had 5 seconds, 10 seconds maybe, she would have gotten out of it. So I feel like you could escape this trap and then probably pass out afterwards, because you just, I mean, chopped off your own freaking leg. I feel like for me personally, I would not survive this trap, only because like I would feel the pain too much. Like, chopping off my leg and then going through the bone of my leg and then having to stick something in that exposed bone and then suction stuff out. There's no way. There's no way I would be able to survive this trap. But that being said, if I don't panic in the first minute and I just get it done, I put the tourniquet on, I don't think about it, I'm sawing away, then, maybe I would survive. Maybe. That's a strong maybe. I would say this one's probably, I wouldn't say 50-50. I would say like 70 and then, 30, 70, 20. I don't know. But I would definitely probably not. If I ended up surviving this trap, I would be surprised, because this trap, like, there's too many steps. Because I feel like I would forget something too, because I don't have the best like memories. So like, I would probably saw off my leg and be like, all right, I'm done, like, let me out. But then I would be like, oh crap, I gotta stick the tube in there and then suction all this stuff out. And yeah, I would probably not survive. So, but yeah, I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10. I really did like how this trap was executed, the goriness of this trap. it was done very well. Yeah. The brain surgeon trap. We're just gonna get into it. I would not survive this trap. Like, this guy, he's sitting in this chair. His hands are free, I'm pretty sure. But he's like trapped in, I think, by his chest or something. And then his head, there's like a contraption or something that'll close if he doesn't like get this trap done in time. He's given like medical equipment, like a drill, and he has to. I think he shaved it himself. He had to shave his head, and then he had to put some brain matter in this beaker that would dissolve it, and then like weigh down this, I don't know, this weight, in order for him to get out of the trap. I would not survive. I want to grade this. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10 too, just because like it's so complex and it's so good. And again, I don't like, like two-step traps like this. I don't know, I just feel like it's a lot to do in 3 minutes to shave your head and then to like break open your skull and then to get that brain matter out and then put that brain matter like in the beaker. I would not survive it. I'm just gonna say that right now. There is 100% chance that I would not survive this trap. Only because I feel like I would be the idiot to drop the frickin' brain matter. Like, I would get to the point of opening, my skull up and stuff, and then getting it out, and then I would drop it. And then at that point, I'm like, you know what? I give up. It's whatever. He did die from this trap, and the contraption, like, closed on his face, and I think it, like, burnt his face or something like that. Like, cryo something his face. I don't know. But I did like the way that this trap looked, the aesthetic of it. It was gory, it was good, it was nice. I feel like a lot of people were super hype about this trap. But yeah, I would definitely rate it the same as the razor wire one, just because I feel like these are two of like the hardest traps. I do feel like if I were to put the razor wire trap and this trap next to each other, I would definitely probably survive the leg one more so than this one, because I would drop my brain matter. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't have shaking hands. My hands shake all the time, and I just know that like I would get to that point, I would get it out of there, and then my nerves, like I would be shocked, and my brain would be messed up because I just took a chunk out of it, and I would probably drop it. So, but yeah, I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10. I did like this trap a lot. I liked the way that it looked, the way that it was executed, and it was nice. It was kind of like a breath of fresh air, like I've never really seen anything similar to this trap. Like in the prior movies, I wouldn't be able to like put traps similar to this trap next to each other. So I feel like it was very interesting to be able to witness this trap. But yeah, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Second to the last trap we're going to be going over is Gabriella's trap. I was so upset in the movie theater during this trap. Amanda kind of put off Gabriella's trap a lot, because, I feel like Amanda really wanted Gabriella to survive this trap. And like I said in the beginning, the relationship, it was really cool to like just see how Amanda's more partial to like, people who have experienced something similar to her, like, addiction and stuff like that. And this trap, it broke me. So Gabriella is chained by her wrist and by one leg, and she gets hoisted into the air when her trap starts, and she has to reach and grab this like pipe or something, and she has to break her leg free and her arm free. And if she doesn't, this like radiation machine, it starts slow and then it gradually, the strength of the radiation gets stronger and stronger, like the longer she's in the trap for. And it starts to like burn her face and stuff the longer she's in the trap. So basically, she has to break the chains off to get out of this trap. I would rate this trap, I would say like an 8, maybe an 8.5. It wasn't as like crucial and extreme as like the brain surgeon trap and the razor wire trap, but it was still like really kind of painful to watch. Like, just imagining like that radiation on your face and like melting your skin and stuff. Like, that's scary. But anyway, so she has to break her limbs and stuff to get out of the trap. And the way she does it is she breaks the chain on her leg first and then goes for her arm. I feel like if I was in this trap, I would break my arm first, like break my wrist, and that way, because in the movie she like starts swinging a little bit after she breaks the chain off her leg. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, well, if I break my wrist first, I'm gonna drop down and I'm not gonna be by the radiation machine, at least until like I start to get lifted by the chain that's on my leg, and then I'll be flipped upside down. But I feel like, okay, you break your wrist and then you fall, gather yourself really quickly, and then break the chain on your leg before you're even hoisted in the air. And honestly, as maybe you don't get that much time and you're immediately start getting hoisted in the air. Okay, that's fine. Grab onto the chain that like your leg is connected to. That way you have like a grip on something and have the pipe in the other hand and just freaking go at it. So I feel like I would survive this one. I feel like this one isn't like you can't survive it. But yeah, I would definitely give it like an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10. I did like this trap. Gabriella does survive this trap, but her base was like, it was really bad. Like the burns and stuff, it was really bad. And I hate Cecilia. And I feel like the actress did such a good job playing as Cecilia, because I feel like Cecilia was a character that like you want to hate. She makes you want to hate her through her actions and stuff. So she ends up stepping on Gabriella's neck and then killing Gabriella. But once Gabriella had finished her trap, John was like, Amanda, call an ambulance. She needs to be rushed to the hospital. So I feel like if Cecilia wasn't there, Gabriella, would have been given a chance at like living after she escaped this trap. But yeah, I would definitely say an 8 or an 8.5. I really like this trap. I don't know. Maybe it's because like I liked Gabriella and I really liked her relationship with Amanda and stuff. But yeah, it was pretty good. Definitely an 8 or 8.5 from me. So this final trap, I am going to try and explain it the best that I can. It's Cecilia's trap, and it's kind of confusing. So the bloodboarding trap isn't really like her trap. I mean, it is kind of, but so basically the bloodboarding trap is there's two people in it, one at each side, and they're laying down and they're strapped in, I think by their neck. And they have these levers they have to pull. And when they pull it, it like makes them go down. And then there's blood poured onto their face so that they suffocate or whatever. So would I survive that trap? It would depend on the person that I'm in the trap with. I feel like I would. Then again, I don't really know, but because this trap's a little, you don't really get to see it in the movie. Like you don't get to see Cecilia in the trap and like playing this trap, because her trap's kind of different. Like this was meant to be her trap, but the other trap was like also kind of meant to be her trap or whatever. So basically you have the bloodboarding trap for her, and then you have the trap where like her and her boyfriend or whatever, they go into the room to get the money after they've had John strapped into the bloodboarding trap with the little boy, and they're like going back and forth on that. And then Cecilia and her mans go to get the money out of the office area, and when they pull the money in the bag, it's like fake money or like newspaper shreddings or something. There's not money in there. And it triggers the door to close. So the door closes, this like acid gas kind of stuff starts leaking into the room. And the only way to survive this trap is that there's like a hole in the wall kind of that they can like stick their head out of to get fresh air. And Cecilia ends up surviving. She kills the boyfriend or whatever, and she does end up surviving, but we don't see her leave the room. So it's kind of weird. Like I feel like her trap is like a two-part trap. But yeah, so the bloodboarding, I don't know if I would survive that. It would depend on who I'm like in there with. And for the room, like that her and her mans are in, again, it would depend on like who I'm in there with. I feel like if I like really care about the person that I'm in there with, obviously Cecilia did not care about the guy that she was in there with, but for me personally, if I like truly care about that person that I'm in there with, we can take turns with the hole in the wall, at least until one of us passes out or dies from the gas or whatever. It would depend. So I feel like both of these traps would be 50-50. The bloodboarding trap though, I would give that out of 10. I don't know. I feel like, you know what? Because I like the bloodboarding trap more than like the acid room trap. So I'm gonna say for the bloodboarding, I would do 8.5 for that one. And for the acid room, I'd probably give that one a 5. The same as like the vacuum trap. Because like, it's an acid room or a gas room or whatever. I mean, like, it's not, they're not doing like an actual trap. It's more like they're playing a game. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Let me know your thoughts on that because I feel like that trap. It was lacking something for me. It was very lackluster, but I did like the bloodboarding trap. Um, Spoiler: John and the little boy do escape. Amanda escapes her chains as well. Amanda wasn't put in a trap though, but yeah, it was pretty interesting. I liked it a lot. But yeah, definitely I would not weigh those traps the same at all. I feel like the end trap was kind of like, it's whatever. She lives. They leave her there with her head in the wall, whatever. You don't really get to see what happens to Cecilia after that, but yeah, I feel like those two traps and the vacuum trap didn't really do much for me. I don't know, it was kind of weird. But yeah, I wasn't a fan. We're finished! Yay! But yeah, overall, I really, really enjoyed Saw X, and I'm so excited. I heard that they're in the talks for Saw 11 and Saw 12. I also forgot a trap at the end of the movie, but I won't spoil that in case you guys have or have not seen it. Um, but I'll give you a little hint. It's in the bathroom. So, yeah, I didn't want to bring up that because I feel like that's not really a trap, but yeah. Um, I wanted to share a little, sentimental kind of thing with you guys. My dad recently passed away in June, and he was the person who turned me on to Saw, got me into the Saw movies. Whenever I would visit him, we'd always like have a little movie marathon and put on all the Saw movies and just watch them back to back with each other. And so he had passed, and I heard that Saw X was coming out, and I was like, oh my god, it's like he's still here with me, but yeah. So I really like this movie. 9 out of 10 for Saw X. Definitely in my top 5. I did enjoy it. I also enjoyed doing this video with my new mic. Had my webcam set up, all kinds of stuff. If you guys liked it, please let me know. Let me know what you guys thought of Saw X. Did you like it? Did you like the traps? What did you guys think of the traps? Did you guys have a favorite trap? Who knows? But yeah, I'm super excited to see what's gonna be presented to us with this franchise. But yeah, I really, really, really like this movie. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Horror Peaches, and stay screaming. Thanks.